The meeting of the Plaquemines Parish Council as the sole governing authority of Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District is called to order at 5:30 p.m. Machines are open for roll call. You can. It's not official vote, so
She's the machine now.
not for this. I'm waiting for it to pop up. Yeah, nothing's. All right, District 1.
District 2.
Here.
District 3.
Yeah.
District 4.
Here.
District 5.
Here.
District 6.
Here.
District 7.
Here.
District 8.
Here.
District 9. All members are present.
Thank you. Next item, please.
I knew you said you were here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Director.
Tilson.
Good evening, Commissioners. I will quickly go through my Executive Director report. Before I get started, I would like to introduce Mr. Blake Burris. Blake is joining us from our Ferry Department. He is standing in for Jalen Brown's position as Director of Security and Vessels. He comes to us with over a decade experience from Moran tug operations. He also has a bachelor's in management. We will give him an opportunity to talk a little bit about himself once we get through this report. Ms. Bell?
Absolutely. Good afternoon, Commissioners. As we featured last time we were with you all, we are highlighting one of our employees. We think it's very important for you and for the community to know the hard-working people who keep our system running. This week, the Port is recognizing Cody Casse for his outstanding dedication. Cody shows his reliability, professionalism, and commitment to our mission of keeping our ferry operations safe for our community every day. He's been in the employment of the Ferry Department since 2004, and we just want you to join us in congratulating Cody on an incredible milestone. 21 years of dedicated service that stand as a testament to the values we strive to uphold every day. So thank you to Cody for your commitment, loyalty, and dedication. And our HR manager, Ms. Harolyn Sherman, and I are going out to visit him and giving him a little gift to recognize all that service. And we'll continue to feature our employees and let folks in this community and our commission see the men and women who keep our system running.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Just for a quick highlight, last week we did attend the annual conference, actually the fall conference for Ports Association of Louisiana. I want to thank Commissioner Newsom for coming out. We had a meaningful legislative meeting with some legislators there. This week, myself and the staff and 4 commissioners are returning last night actually from Quebec, Canada, attending the AAPA annual meeting, and I'm going to save the details on that meeting for Ms. Bell to talk about on the last slide. Chief Legal Officer is actually working remote today, but his application is being processed now by the National Conference of Bar Examiners, and he is having active communication back and forth. The Foreign Trade Zone, no real update at this point. We do believe that the federal government slowdown is affecting the progress on that. And then obviously the introductions today, we have our Director of IT. We'll be talking about that. We have a ordinance to approve moving into phases 2 and 3 of the Navy business case analysis, and then an ordinance to defund the Ferry Security Captain position and to fund a port engineer. And that position will be basically spearheading a port-wide preventive maintenance program, primarily for our marine assets, but we will be using them with some of our land assets as well. And then just quick update, Navy business case analysis, we still are looking for November 18th. We're waiting to confirm those the dates or the location, and so you will hear more about that. The Louisiana Mississippi River Deepwater Port Marketing Plan is continuing to progress, and we have our next container terminal negotiations meeting on October the 24th, actually in Charlotte. And if I could have Mr. Burris, take over from here.
Hi, everyone. Like Mr. Charles said, my name is Blake Pullman Burris. Are you talking to Mike? It's not on? All right, there we go. It's on. As Mr. Charles said, my name is Blake Pullman Burris. I started at Moran Towing straight out of high school and moved my way up to captain, and then had an opportunity to come to the ferry department, and I moved over there in November of last year, and then the opportunity of my current position opened, and I took the feat and started this. But just port operation update, the Belle Chase and Point LaHash Ferry are in service and running. We spoke with PPG about the status of pretty much the landing on the west bank, right at the top of the landing, where it's starting to sink in the water. It holds water, and just to make sure that it doesn't continue and eventually start messing up cars. The Belle Chase 2 is underway. We got word that they have taken out both the engines, generators, everything, and they're being rebuilt, and the parts should be in, and they'll give us an update when everything is in and, putting back together. The Authority 2, we're still waiting on the AC. Actually called today, and they said with the warranty that they're waiting for an email back, because the warranty process is lengthy. So once he said he gets word back, he'll let me know. The Authority 3, everything's running, functioning fine, and the Authority 1, we're seeking a second damage estimate, and right now it is at Alma Shipyard for repairs on the oil pan. That we noticed that the bolts were backing out and started leaking oil, so they took the boat out of service and brought it there so that way they can get that fixed. And yeah.
So I am still on the new diesel electric ferry, but I will have Blake tied in for some of the projects, just because they do have to do with our marine vessels as well. But for the new ferry build, we're at 90% design. We have reviewed it, myself as well as the ferry manager and Minnow Marine. We have provided comments to DOTD prior to when they actually asked for the comments a week early, and we are awaiting a response on that. Next slide. The Point LaHash ferry landing replacement with our grant, we're anticipating the completion of that at the end of 2028. However, we are still having monthly meetings. Surveys are currently underway, and we are progressing whenever it comes to that project itself. Whenever it comes to Point LaHash current ferry landing, we are actively working with the barge electrical upgrades as well as the full replacement aprons. I've received drawings for that, and Blake and I will actually be reviewing those next week.
Just a little update. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but we pressure washed, steam cleaned, and repainted both of the Belle Chase landings on both sides. We're waiting for a final coat on the east bank, waiting for the paint to come in, but those are almost finished.
Whenever it comes to the Belle Chase security vessel landing and maintenance dock, we actually have a kickoff meeting next Monday. So Blake and I will be in attendance with that, with the engineers who are Lanier and Associates, as well as Minnow Marine will be helping them too. The consolidated security dock in Port Sulphur, that is under design with Infinity Engineering, and Charles is in communication with BG regarding construction for that. The 11-mile rail extension, we are resurveying mile 1. That should be completed within the next 2 weeks. We've already received the DOTD right away, and we are requesting a meeting with the DOTD secretary regarding that. The permit should be submitted for this project by the end of October. We're awaiting a pre-permit application meeting, which I will attend with the engineers as well. And STB, we are submitting the RFI response to them by next Wednesday. For the Peters Road rail bypass, we're working to potentially realign Peters Road and the rail to better balance the industry and community and improvement impacts on that. However, the project itself is progressing. Charles is requesting a meeting with Union Pacific and Omaha to review the design, as well with City of Gretna and Jefferson Parish too. The Peters Road Rail Bypass, Ronnie, I know that's your favorite one. The design is progressing and it is moving along very nicely. Phase 2A is actually complete with design. So that is the box culverts. We are bringing the design actually up to date because it was completed previously, but they're making sure that it meets specifications and codes. That should be put out to bid Q1 of 2026 to begin construction on that. So this project is progressing. You can let the public know it is no longer a myth. We are moving forward with it. So Charles?
And we have already discussed the Navy business case analysis, so, Ms. Bergeron.
Once again, with the admin building renovation project, our core and base for this is to harden the shell of the building itself. We had, which all of you were copied on that email, regarding the generator bypass switch. It was tested, functional, everything is good to go. Whenever it comes to the roof itself, we have reached substantial completion. On the roof, we do have some electrical conduit work that needs to be done. It should be completed within the next 2 weeks. Once that work is done, the roof will be awarded final completion. The HVAC detail design has been completed. That is full, complete ductwork and ventilation to the building itself. However, we are going to wait to have this work done whenever we do the full renovation. And the detailed design for that is underway, and construction for that should be this time next year.
Okay, Port Financials, Ms. Glapion is actually in some financial training yesterday and today. So here is the report, and the difference is a property that was purchased in Point Celeste Farms. Any questions? I think they were sent yesterday.
We were traveling, so I didn't know.
Huh? I will, okay, I'll follow up on that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll follow up.
And, okay.
Human Resources update. We have 3 vacant positions that are going through the candidate hiring process with Civil Service. The first is a Senior Accountant 2, where the selection was made. The Director of Communications, where the selection made. Both have been offered and in onboarding. Human Resources Analyst interviews were held, and the selection has been sent to Civil Service to start the process of going through the official hiring. Also, Civil Service, we have 2 unclassified positions submitted for review and approval. That is the Director of Information Technology, which was formerly submitted as the Technology Manager, but we made the determination to withdraw that position and submit a Director of Information Technology, and our Chief Operating Officer, which is deferred from vote by Civil Service as we are still awaiting the results of an Archer study. Next slide. All right, here we have the communications update. Digital messaging has been approved for October for both organic placement in our own channels and for placed paid advertisement content. The second phase of the rebrand is rolling out right now. Our direct mail postcard should be hitting mailboxes in mid-October. And this is a very important announcement. The State of the Port Luncheon is scheduled for October 15th, 2025 at Cafe Hope. You can register on the PABI website, and we will be sending links out as well to register and purchase tickets for that. It's an exciting event where you'll learn more about the port. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, but we'll discuss that if that's okay with you, sir. And then you see some photos here. What's featured is in your top left corner, you see Mr. Tillotson and myself with the amazing, brilliant students at Tulane University, where we recently did a case study class on the rebrand of the port, where they are considering doing a full case study. Since the rebrand, there's been quite a bit of interest from our local university community, so I am working with them to secure more placements for us to discuss the work that we've done that is attracting so much positive attention. Right adjacent to that, you'll see Charles featured with some of our partners from ES Squared and Calais Systems talking at the AAPA convention, where many of us attended, some of our port commissioners, some of the staff, and that session was called the Port of Tomorrow, today, where we talked about our GIS information technology and how we are setting the pace for other ports to join us as we bring port management into the future. To the bottom left, you see Charles on a panel with marketing executives and leaders of the port industry and AAPA business marketing specialists discussing the power of brand in the port business and how we are bringing our brand global. It was a great session. And then you see some familiar faces up there as we were representing this new Louisiana Gateway Port all over Quebec earlier this week. And you see some of our commissioners and staff there featured after one of the sessions. So still doing the work of making certain that globally we are positioned, that in the port world, people are looking at Plaquemines Parish, Port Harbor, and Terminal District, and really recognizing the work that we're doing here as a port and as a leader in branding and smart technology.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. And in conclusion, so we are wrapping up the 2024 audit. I will be meeting with Ms. Glapion tomorrow and requesting a closeout meeting and session with the auditor. I am just getting the final report myself with the final details, and I'll be going over that and then making sure that the commission has the port's full response. And that concludes the executive director report.
Any comments? Any comments from the audience? None? You sure? Mr. Jursich?
Yes. I'm going to revert back to last Friday. I saw a pretty disturbing email from the port about not wanting to be in the water business anymore with the parish.
So,
No, hold up. And you don't think the port should be in the water business when you're supposed to be growing your port area? We have enough water for the residents right now, but we won't have enough water if we start growing our port. And I was really appalled to see something like that come from the port. You're responsible for providing water as well. And you have the resources with the grants and everything else. You have the power to get these grants, and you have the power to do this. And I was very, very disturbed about this. And I want to hear your answer. I mean, understaffed, this, that, and the other. Somebody in there could do some paperwork.
yeah, thank you, Commissioner Jursich. And we had a grant meeting 2 weeks ago, and we went over everything that we have in front of us today and what we need to do to make that requirement. And we don't have the staff right now to do what needs to be done to get that grant request in. We could potentially do that in the future, but as of right now, I'm it. And I'm doing a lot of other things. So we made the determination with myself and with our CFO that because of the other requirements that we're focusing on right now, that we need to make sure that our focus is there and not trying to add on to it at this time.
So you make that decision. We don't get no say-so in that decision as your commissioners?
And I'm kind of troubled that as chairman, and I'm assuming you as vice chairman did not know about this either? You said that decision was made without us even being involved? I'm joining in because this is the first I'm hearing about this.
Okay, I made the decision that because of what we're dealing with the current grants that we have today, that we don't have the people and enough time in the day to get to focus on another grant right now.
Well, this is a very important grant. This is a need.
I clearly,
Definitely a need.
I clearly understand that it is a need, and we are transitioning a new director of vessels and security in. We're integrating him in. We are focused on the grants that we have today and tightening up the administration on the grants that we have today and trying to take something addition on right now. We just don't have the people to do it. I mean, I talked at the last meeting, we desperately need a chief operating officer in to give us some more bandwidth to deal with this type of requirement.
Is he going to be able to take care of grants? Is that what
The
you're
chief
coming at?
operating officer, one of the requirements that he will have, the grants will be operationally under the chief operating officer and the chief financial officer.
I just find that somebody in your office can't help out. I just find that water is a need. Remember the need.
Got
We
it.
need what we need in Port Sulphur, and you're the one that can do it. And that's what we're gonna, I'm putting this pressure on you.
Understand.
We as commissioners, we should be the ones voting if we're gonna be in the water business or not.
I clearly understand that, and I respect that, but I would just like to request that the commission consider that the staff has a lot of compliance requirements that, we're struggling with, and what we didn't want to do is continue to struggle and continue to add on top of the struggle.
You should be ahead of this. Your compliance issues with other things that aren't completed is that, you need to stay on top of it. You need to stay on top of it. This is a need. Rebranding was a want. Okay? And we spent a lot of time on that. You need to put your resources where they belong. And water is one of those things. You have to provide the infrastructure and the water capacity to take on new business if we ever get any. And that's all I yield.
Ms. McCarty.
I was going to talk about the finances, but I didn't know about that. We've done studies, I'm going to handle this gently. We've done studies with companies to help us do market studies, business plans. But we need to look at our administrators, exactly what their positions are, what their obligations are. I don't know because I never have a job description of anything. I don't think anyone else here does either. But the reason that just caught my attention is because remember in April of '23 when I said there was I'm not going to name the technology company that wanted to give us between $35 and $40 million worth of technology, but we didn't have the bandwidth because you didn't have the bandwidth because we didn't have enough people. And this is a few years later, and it sounds like the same problem's still happening. So we just need to take a strong look at who does what and make sure we fill those positions properly. And as far as grants go, aren't we using an outside company to do that?
Yeah, so thank you. Let me answer your first question in terms of job descriptions. You have been provided job descriptions of every job, including the chief operating officer that's been on the books, and we've been trying to get that position filled since Mr. Brown left. It is going to be required. It's actually supposed to be on an Archer study right now. We do not know when that position is going to be filled. But if you would like for us to push job descriptions, back in front of you or the entire commission, we can clearly do that. In terms of a couple of years ago, I'd like to just kind of remind the commission that we are wrapping up phase 2 of the water booster station, and we are working to make sure that we keep up with those reimbursement requirements and those administrative requirements as well. And it is no simple task. It's no secret that obviously we've had some transition with our director of security and vessels departing. He was a big part of that, right? And so now We have a temporary interim director that we are integrating in, but that integration process takes time. It's been less than a month that he's been on board. So we clearly want to continue to drive grant revenue, but what is important to the port is to make sure that when we do, that we have the proper administrative staff behind it. Now, we do, to answer your last question, we do have a grant administrator, but in order for that grant administrator to actually apply for a grant, all of the details comes from the staff, and it's a lot of work. And at this time, I admit that I made the call that we need to stop right now and make sure that we get a firm grip on everything that we have in front of us right now, which is a lot. And then we need to bring the new staff in. We need to bring Mr. Burris up to speed where that we can get this done right.
Okay, so as a board, I think I heard what I've been saying from day one, just now, from these gentlemen over here. As a board, we're not making decisions. We're not being presented with situations to make the decision. The decisions are being made and then presented to us at meetings. Would you agree with that?
I would not agree with that.
Okay,
What
tell
I
us what
what
we're
I would
making.
suggest is that when it comes to the resolutions and ordinances, they are appropriately being presented to the board. The decision on not to do something or to do something that's within my authority, I did make that call, and I apologize that it appears that not everybody was in the loop on myself and our CFO. And our CFO saying, hey, we need to slow down on this because what we don't want to do is get out too far in front of this where we cannot keep up with the requirement. And right now, all of us are working more than one job, and we are stretched out, and we are working to grow the staff. I think you just saw we're actually bringing in 3 new people now. I mean, as of this meeting today. So, we are doing everything that we can to prepare ourselves to be able to go after bigger and more grants in the future.
So we have added at least 4 people since you first came in office, is that correct?
Actually, more than that.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to switch to the financial question I had.
Okay.
I didn't, as you said, we didn't receive the finances before. And I've been watching the unrestricted fund balance go up and down. And last meeting, Ms. Clapion mentioned that we're 2 months behind in posting our finances and that she is trying to catch up, which I understand. And it just went from 6 million to 20 million deficit. So I understand she has a group of people that she has to administer plus, do this type of work. I just wanted to know, are we moving forward? Are we catching up?
We are moving forward, and I just got a text back from Ms. Clapion. She did not send the financials,
Okay.
and so I take accountability for that. In terms of your reference to $20 million deficit, remember, that is essentially just some accounting where we brought the revenue bond in that was not budgeted, and so that is just the way that it is showing up in the financials. The change from last month was that one property purchase, which is on the bottom of that financial statement.
Well, we'll have to look at that closer later. I can't do it in my mind without, and by the way, we don't have the same reports each meeting. Like that unrestricted fund balance diagram, it's not in this booklet. So can we standardize what we're going to take a look at?
I thought this was the same form.
No, we're missing one.
But that's actually the one that you're referring to is in the back, all the way in the back of,
I'm going to
yeah.
You done?
Yeah.
All right, before we move forward, I'm going to go a little out of order. Mr. President, you wanted to say something related to the grants?
Keith Hinckley, Plaquemines Parish President, 112 Liberty Street. In regards to the grants, I'm here to offer up. Our grants, we work with our grants on the parish side of things through the grant administrator. We've got Brad Brill, our project manager, our engineers. We've got Jeff DeMarco, Public Service, and Mr. Morgan with Infomark, and some of the consultants that we work with. I would think that through the parish, when it becomes to water, it's very valuable, and I very much appreciate our collaboration and the work that we've done on the past with the water. You know, you got the booster station at Naomi and the water lines and all. So I just really, gosh, it's disheartening to me that that we're not having this opportunity. And I just feel like the port side of life, these grants, you're able to get those grants a lot easier than the government side. So I would like to try. I don't believe our CFO and I don't want to demean any level of government, but our CFOs and the high level finance, they're not really involved with that in our world. But I'm here to offer up any and all support. Now, there may be some questions that we may need to come to the port side of life, because there might be port related questions, how it involves the port, you know, who are you supporting? And we're talking about these grants that are in this advanced manufacturing corridor that we're creating together. So I guess basically what I'm offering up is that I'm here. I would have to get with Rennie, get with legal, get an opinion that if we could still keep this collaboration going, and put the burden on me, and then we would support you guys any way that we can so that we can keep this moving. Because again, like I said, it just seems that when the port applies for a grant, it seems like 6-8 months later, you're awarded because I guess it's because there's so many ports in the state of Louisiana. You got your 5 deep water ports, plus the other small ones. We have 64 parishes. There's we know like $1 billion worth of infrastructure for water for parishes. So I'm just here to offer up the parish side of life here to support and to help the port. I would love to see this just continue on, and let's not just stop. Okay? So thank you.
Well,
Mr. President.
well,
Okay.
no, well, you mind sticking around for
No,
a
I
minute
don't-
where we can go in order?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Gooey.
I think it's important for me to make sure that I clarify one thing. This grant, it is under the Port Priority Fund, so this has to come from the port and be articulated exactly how it's going to be applied to port expansion growth. Now, I am not saying that there is not a need for it. What I'm saying is in order for us to go and do it right now, it is going to mean that we have to stop doing something else.
Well, I think that's what Parish President was saying, that they can work on it and then come back get their questions answered from you, and then we all submit it. They'll do all the legwork, and then we submit it through the port.
But so all of the language, everything that we do has to be tied to port expansion. So everything that we do, I would have to make sure that is completely laid out, and by us, losing a key person who was a big part of that it's a huge challenge for us.
Okay. Dr. Gooey.
Yeah, I've got 3 things. And the first ties into what President Hinckley said. And, as the port director, you're the guy who's got to prioritize your tasks. You have to prioritize to be as efficient and effective as you can. What I would recommend or request is that you just sit down with the administration and see exactly what they're able to do and would that meet your needs, and then make a decision from that. And I'm not going to belabor that anymore, but I just think that there may be an opportunity with some of the staff that's available on the government side, that a lot of the tasks could be at least initiated for review and maybe not put as much of a burden. But I get it. I get the burden. I do get that. And that would maybe be a way to get some of the work done. And just talk to Keith and his people to see if that's a go or no go. You're the director. You got to make those decisions. I want to go back now to the time we spent at the AAPA. And I want to preface it by saying we were in the audience of port directors from Maine, down the Atlantic coast, up across the Gulf Coast, the Pacific Coast. We had people there from Latin America. We had people there from Quebec. And Charles, you made two presentations that, and I have to say, they were very revealing as to what this port has done in the last few years in a very short time. And the comments that I got from those in attendance were a positive, and they reflected that fact. When you gave the report on the GIS modeling and how you had it integrated in different platforms, how we use an ES Square and the gentleman, the Russian guy, the Smirnov guy, yeah. It showed that those efforts are making the port more efficient in a way of our billing. We're capturing everything. We're not using as much manpower, and that the triggers that these software programs do, they can start the billing process in real time and not have to wait for our marine inspectors to go out and look at anchorages and things. Some of the comments with that and the overlay with the Pilots Association, guys that were around me were like, oh yeah, they were really getting that. And what I got out of it is that it's more of on a technical side, we're able to gather more information and get more done without having to rely on physical manpower to make it. So I don't know how many comments you got, but I just wanted you to know that in that particular part of the program was very well received and people commented on it. The other thing was, I talked to you about branding, and I said, man, what is, branding? Why are we spending this money on branding? Well, after that panel that you participated in, I got it. I really got it, because those that came and spoke to me afterwards were finally realized we're not north of Baton Rouge in Plaquemine, Louisiana. And the logo showed exactly where we were, and they got it. They got it, and they didn't realize that our port district is not 200 acres, 1,200 acres like all these other ports. We've got the whole parish, the entire river from start to finish, and that was a revelation to a lot of the guys. And when I was walking through the crowd with that little tag, and we had the shirts with the logo, the gateway, they understood, oh, y'all, that gateway port. And they would ask me, how you coming along with your container port? So how the heck they know about our container port? And my response was, well, we're building a marine terminal and hope that we can get a container port. But either way, we're building a marine terminal, and we're going to provide intermodal access. We've got the land, and we're working toward that. And one guy even said, y'all gonna tear down any of those public schools when you go in there? And I'm thinking, he really knew his homework. He was knocking our buddies up the road, and that's what they're reading in the paper, which I thought was very revealing too. I said, no, sir. I said, we're green. We're green space. We're not moving population around. We're doing a little different. So all in all, I want to say that I feel that our port is starting to get a lot of notice, and of course I noticed it, right? But who am I? But when these guys from around around the United States have come in and said, I think that's a testament to everything we've done up here to give you the funding to do what you have to do. Now, the criticisms on your administration, that's what we're here for. And, you got to take that. And you take it to make us better. Right. Make us better. And from the day you got here till today, we have come a long way. And I think the public needs to know that, and I think your outreach is going to help get that message out. I yield.
Thank you.
Reverend Edwards.
Well, you didn't pay me any money, so I don't know how much you paid Dr. Gouy for that, so I can't follow that. But I will say this. When I first heard the statement that we're not in the water, I lit into you like a Christmas tree. I said, what the hell are you talking about? We are in the water business. But then after we really, really had a serious conversation, I understood. And that's why I went to talk to Mr. Hinckley. And you could tell my immediate response was to him, Mr. Hinckley, well, we need to hook up with the administration and see how the administration could help. Maybe they could take the load. And then you came back and said, well, but the thing you got to understand that the Pope got to own it, because regardless what the parish does, I said, well, let's at least try to do it. So I just want to let you know, Mr. Hinckley, he could tell you, no, I'm just saying, he could tell you my first response to him was, how can maybe the administration could help us do that, on it, but the water issue. But I would say to this, like Dr. Gouy said, I was in the audience with people, and the presentation that you made on branding, I was surprised. And even in the lobby with your people walking up to you, telling you like, oh, that makes a whole lot of sense. You helped me, how we really look at that. And what amazed me about being the thing in Canada, the people at the high level of the APP were looking at this boat and the work we're doing. And then during the daytime, I spent a lot of time with the New Orleans Port people at the table with them and really discussing with them openly about where I felt and still how we can collaborate on stuff, and told them my concern that we had because I know people there. But I would say that I realized at that trip how much respect and people really looking at our port for the potential that it could have. And so again, that's what I want to take. That was my position to how we could help. And then I think I told you, I said, well, Charles, you used the wrong word. You shouldn't have said the water business, because that's the business we in. But you just don't have the time to do. So I just think you're not in the water business can send people in a direction. Because I went in until I really heard what you said, is that if even though it's a water project and we're in a water business, but at the Pope do it, you have to be able to justify it, and that changed my attitude towards, because I didn't give you a break on it. I mean, I didn't give you a break, but again, I think you're doing some amazing work.
Thank you.
Well, just look, so I can walk out the door if you don't mind. And I get it. The port. Well, no, I'm gonna make this thing go long. I'm gonna beat you to it though, Bubba. No, I'm just saying the port does own it. I'm just saying, look, we're the underlings here when it comes to this offer, okay? But I just feel like if there's anything in the world that we can do to support the port in this endeavor, because it supports the port, but it supports this government and the businesses along this corridor greatly. So, thank y'all.
Thank you.
I mean, if I could just respond, I think maybe things have been mischaracterized a little bit, and if the words that were used were taken the wrong way, I publicly take responsibility for that. I mean, really what this comes down to is every day, I mean, we have a very lean staff, and, you know, we follow the 4 basic rules of the dichotomy of leadership, you know, and it's really about the things that you do, the things that you don't do, you know. But one of those 4 principles is to prioritize and execute. And what I can assure you is every member of the C-suite and these directors have a long list of items that they are working every day. And they are frustrated every day because the list keeps getting longer, right? We are finalizing our policies. We are implementing ISO 9000 to make sure that our compliance really starts to improve. And we found ourselves sitting, looking at the requirements that were in front of us, and the items on that list really there's items on there that are priority, and we have to make sure that we do them well right now. And it's not to say that we can't go, you know, after that the next quarter, but right now we're in a very difficult spot because that priority list keeps going long. So we can say we can stop and we can do this, but something else is going to fall off. And part of that is going to be financial, Commissioner McCarty, because what I can tell you, the way that grant works, we're only going to get a percentage of that money per year, and the first money is not going to drop until at least 4 years from now. So let's say it's a, you know, $15 million project. We won't see the first funds for that for 3 to 4 years, and then we will only see parts of the funding over the years. So once we start the project, we can get reimbursed, but we have to spend the cash first. And that's part of what we have in the revenue bond today. If you remember, there's $9 million in that revenue bond, and that $9 million is there to help us with that cash flow issue, because we're spending money, port funds, where the port is constantly criticized. You spend, you spend, you spend. Well, we have some commitments to finish that water feed line this year, and that's coming directly out of the port's cash. And it may take us 2 years, possibly 3, to get our full reimbursement. So there's some challenges that comes along with this, and we just have to understand we could take it on. I just want to be real clear, but something else is going to fall off, and if we do, it will have some cash flow implications. So, but what I want to assure you, I am taking these comments to heart. I will go back and huddle with my staff. Mr. Chairman, we will have a conversation on tomorrow. I'd like to have a call with you maybe sometime tomorrow afternoon. We discuss this and we talk about, you know, what the way ahead looks like. But again, I just want to make sure that the commission understands that the port is doing a lot of stuff. We're accomplishing a lot, but that list of priorities is growing and growing and growing, and it is imperative, just as we decide what to do, that we also sometimes we have to decide what we can't do because we just don't have the resources to get it done. I yield.
Yep, I agree. You the port director, and you run the day-to-day, and I'm good with it. The thing I had a little problem with was when I first heard about it was when Mr. Jurasage mentioned it, that you said we're not in the water business, and I agree with that. The port is not in the water business. We made y'all do the pump station and the pipes, just like we made y'all take over the ferries.
Right.
So but I would have liked to call, and I'm sure the other 8 would too, before you sent out that email, and maybe, because I'd have had the same input saying, hey, why don't we talk to the parish president, see if he has somebody he could sit over there to do the
the paperwork and all. And if he has questions, he could go to y'all and ask y'all questions. But I agree, the port is not in the business to make water. Robert Morgan doesn't answer to you. He answers to the parish president. So for the parish president, he should have, when you got that email, he got the email from you, he should have called you and said, what can I do to keep it going? Can I put a person or two people there to do the work where we could still go through the port to get the money? That's where I'm at, because I agree. Port's not in the business to make water. Thank you.
All right, I'm shifting off from water. The audit needs to be done by next Friday. Priority. It's been going on long enough. Okay? Whatever it takes, get it done by next Friday.
I am requesting a meeting with Jamie. We did have an exit conference. I actually thought our part was done on the 29th. And so what the commissioners received this week, you actually received an in-person review of information that you saw it before I saw some of it. So I will have a call with the auditor, and I've had Ms. Glapion working on our response. There was still, I want to say yesterday, and they might be clarified right now, I just haven't read it today, there were 3 items I don't understand. And so that's part of what we're clarifying, but we will get that clarity, and we will work diligently. That is a priority for us to get that done, and I'm as frustrated that it's not.
Yeah, well, and then the other thing is the following week, before the next meeting, we need to get our financials up to date here.
Got it.
Because the thing is, part of the reason why we have to do this is because Louisiana Legislative Auditor requires the boards of every governing agency to receive a financial update monthly. And if we're not getting the accurate information, we're not getting, we can't do our job.
I take accountability for that.
So the following week, after the audit's issued, let's work on catching up on that.
Please explain about the posting.
Well, they know about that. All right, but I'm just saying. Ms. Bell, I want to talk to you about communications director offline. So before you leave tonight, I want to ask you a quick question. The next question is the COO and the IT director. We can't vote on that until civil service approves, correct?
That's correct.
So can we withdraw the COO and not introduce the IT director until civil service? When's the next civil service meeting?
Not until December, unless
So I don't
we
want
ask
it
for a
on the
special
agenda,
meeting.
keep deferring for months or weeks. So is it okay with y'all that we withdraw the COO and not introduce the IT director?
We can clearly do that, but the reason that is there is to keep the visibility that we need this. We really need this, and we need it yesterday. So it's really to keep the visibility so that 6 months from now, you know.
But to me, it sits there and we defer it. It makes it look like it's not important because we keep deferring it. We keep pushing it off. And most of the public doesn't realize that we can't vote on into civil service. So to me, it looks like we're just pushing it off. I mean, I'm just saying, because it's been sitting on here, 3 weeks? We're going to have to reintroduce the COO before we can actually vote on it, because if it's in December, it can only get deferred 4 times before it falls off. So we're going to have to reintroduce it. So I prefer just to withdraw it, have it, it's ready to go once the civil service votes on it, instead of just sitting on here and saying, okay, we're going to defer 6B again. You know what I'm saying? Are you okay with that?
Yes.
I mean, I know it's under my name, but I don't want.
Yes, that's fine. We'll withdraw.
Okay. I yield. Mrs. LaFrance.
Your port is growing and growing. Our port is being successful. The previous administration of the port, you had Sandy and you had Paul. So you had a port director and an assistant. Now we're sitting with just Mr. Tillerson. And then when he asks for more people, he get pushbacks. He's telling you, we need more people. He need more people. But yet we put the handcuff on him and we put shackles on his feet. And then we expect for him to operate like he have 20 people. Our parish charter says that the parish president is entitled to 3 directors. We gave him an assistant. No other parish president had an assistant before. So, and me and Doc, we talked about it. Our port is not it's not a P-roll. We're not operating a 16-foot flatboat. It might have been like that before, but now you operating a ship. You operating something where you need manpower. You need deckhands. You need engineers to check the engines and everything. So when your executive director, when he's telling you he need help, he's telling you need help, we should be able to answer him and give him his help that he need. Because if you want to be successful, you need the manpower. And I yield.
So, Ms. LaFrance, I take exception to that because I don't think any position that this port director has requested, this commission denied in the end. Initially, we denied the HR analyst for a while because of some issues. But we have added positions, CAO, CFO, legal counsel, which was the deputy director. So director of communications, director of projects, a new HR manager position, and it's got reclassified to a special assistant to the director. So when you compare the payroll has gone up. I agree with you. We're growing. That's why I voted for every one of those positions, because we're trying to make it a official business-ran organization. CAO, CFO, COO, I agree with you. But to say that we're not helping, I take exception to that.
He had pushback. He had pushback. But also, we also gave him the ferries. The previous administration didn't have the ferries.
Ferries came over in 2022 because I remember I wasn't on the council at that time.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, the previous administration didn't have the ferries.
I yield. Mr. Champagne.
Well, I'd like to turn this positive, but I have one comment. We said he got the ferries in 2022. To call them ferries, he got a bunch of junk in 2022. He got garbage. Look at him now. They're beautiful. And the mere fact that y'all talked about painting the Scarsdale Ferry, I don't think those things have been painted in 30 years. That's outstanding. It shows we're doing maintenance and our stuff. So in spite of all the hard things you're doing, you guys are still not neglecting the simple things. Normally those fall off the plate, and those are the ones that bite you in the tail in the end. That's why the Point Lash Ferry was ready to kill somebody. Y'all saw it. That thing was collapsing when they closed it. They had to close it. Now you look at it, it's a thing of beauty. It's probably it's the best ferry ramp on the Mississippi River, bar none. Those vessels are the best on the river, bar none. Our staff is fantastic. Overworked, overwhelmed, and still smiling. So out there throwing the ropes, regardless of weather, doing a good job. So let's not forget about that. That's quite an accomplishment to turn this around in 2 years. So we need to focus on some positive. On this water thing, I just read the letter for the first time, and what stuck out to me was it was a cry for help. That's the way I took it. You're overwhelmed. I agree. And I think we need to coordinate with the parish and get them to work with us. They just said they will. Let's hold them to it and do that. But and Mr. Kognovich said it perfect. We're not in the water business. We're not. And if the parish said they're going to take it on, all right, we'll hold you to it. But I have to tell you, Director, you are doing a good job. Again, I look at the small things. The small things are important things. And the mere fact that we're even talking about maintenance, that's a foreign word in this parish. At least somebody's maintaining something. And it's showing. And I appreciate your efforts on that. keep, and you keep your head up. You got a great staff, and they are overworked. In the 3 years I've seen them, they work quite hard. And I want to make sure people understand that. You guys are doing great work. Talking about what Commissioner Schultz just said about pulling those 2 positions off, so I think what he did by saying that, the public knows, hey, we're trying to get these people. We just got to go jump through the civil service hoop. So good job bringing that up. The people know. And I think us discussing this stuff makes our folks know that we are working hard at trying to have the best port around. And I think, we are doing a good job as a commission. We often, we focus on the bad things, but let's focus on the good stuff. We've done some good stuff here in 3 years, y'all. Some good stuff. Can we get better? By all means. But don't lose sight of that. I yield.
One other thing that he hit on is, again, goes back to last year, Mr. Tilson requested a maintenance department. There was no hesitation from this board. We jumped on that right away and look at the results. So to say we're doing pushback and stuff, I'm like, I don't think besides one position at one point, we never denied them. All right, next item. Come on, man, you can wait it for a state. That's why I didn't go or sign up. I'm joking, because I knew I was going to be here.
We have the following introductions. An ordinance authorizing Charles D. Tillotson, Executive Director, to continue a Navy business case analysis and amend the 2025 5-year capital improvement budget to appropriate funding for the integrated Phase 2 and Phase 3 of the project and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance to amend the Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District 2025 manpower structure to defund the vacant ferry security captain classified position and create a funded port engineer classified position and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance to amend the 2025 manpower structure and operating expenditure budget and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And those are all the intros.
All right, thank you. 6A1 will be deferred. 6B will be withdrawn. 6C will be deferred. 6D, please.
An ordinance establishing the policy of the Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District in regard to commissioner travel and to provide with respect thereto. Commissioner Newsom.
And we have changes.
I want to offer this without the changes.
Second. Second by Mr. Jurisic. Do I have any comments from the audience? Administration. Table. Mr. Newsom.
Yeah, I spoke with the chairman on this also. I got with Mr. Garrett, and we came up with this, and it establishes a policy. Does not say anything about anybody can't travel, just establish a policy, which we never had. There was some talk earlier about policies. That's all we're trying to do here. With that, I yield.
What's the purpose?
Establishing a policy.
Ms. McCarty.
Okay. What is the purpose for establishing this policy? What do you see as the problem that you're trying to fix?
You're in. Go.
We have no policy. It's.
I know, but is there a point that you want to restrict by
No.
getting a lot of people to band together? Let's say like if you've got 5 that always vote one way and 4 that always vote
Ms.
another
McCarty, you're
way?
putting words in my mouth. Please
I'm
don't do
asking.
that.
That's
What
the
I said was, if you're listening to what I said, which evidently you didn't, I said this does not restrict anyone from traveling. This establishes a policy to where we, as the governing authority of the port, have a say. The non-members do.
But what is the point? Because in the past, when people decide to get together, they decide who they want to move forward and who they don't want to move forward. And I'm asking you, give me an example of why this is necessary.
We have no policy.
Give me an example of
I'm
what's
not
broken
speaking.
that you need to bring
Vote no
this
if you
up.
don't like it. That's all. I'm not here to debate this issue.
All right.
It's not necessary.
Vote no.
Reverend Edwards.
Yeah, again, When I saw this, I was trying to figure out what the purpose of the policy that we have. And then what I understand, it have relate to travel, right? That's my understanding. And so my position was that we need to be very specific. So we want to say that if it relate to Pope staff, commissioners travel, that I thought the two key people that should be considered on every trip is the chairman and the vice chairman, because their role that they play. And in the event that they can't make it, then they can make some recommendation. Because my understanding really, and Patty asked a very valid question. You know, the purpose of this is to talk about who goes on the trip, who travels. That is the purpose of this policy. And I just think everybody should be able to go. But I'm saying I shouldn't be the one going every trip. You know, so to do that, we'd have to create a policy. And my suggestion, you know, is to saying that the two key people that should be first considered on every trip should be the chairman or the vice chairman, because of your role that you play. When I went to Canada, other trip, you always see the chairman of the commissioner or the vice chairman of the commission. So I think that should be the thing, and then they should make recommendations. But not only is that we should do that, we should even look at the council in terms of when they take trips. The policy should also be about that also. It shouldn't be about a policy just who on the commissioner's trial, but we are, as a council, in our role as council, determine a policy that determine who go on the trip that the administration take. So I'm saying I agree with the policy, but it should be very specific. And cause, Pat asked a really very valid question. What is the purpose of this? And that, I think it is a great question. So we got to address what is our intent of this policy.
Sorry, I thought you were done. You done?
Yeah.
All right. So part of the reason is so the staff has a policy for staff travel already. We've already voted on that policy. We don't have anything for the commission, and a perfect example is you saying chair, vice chair. There's a trip to DC I just found out through Mr. Kognovich in December. So November. But the thing is, we had no clue who's going where from the commission standpoint as a commissioner on who's going where. And as chairman, like you said, I should be first to be on the list. And I didn't even know about his trip. He got rescheduled. I found that out later. But not only that, on the parish side, the parish doesn't reimburse you for travel through the general fund. You have your district budget. So that's where your travel comes from. If we want to go that route and create a travel budget for each commissioner up here, I'm fine with that. But we need to get travel under control. It's getting a little out of hand just overall. But I think that's basically where this came from, was there is no policy. There's a policy for staff and administration. There's a policy on the council side. There is no policy for us up here as commissioners. So that is why Mr. Newsom worked with Mr. Garrett to create a policy. It wasn't targeted at anybody or any one instance. It's we don't have a policy. Mr. Jurcic.
Yes, I agree with Mr. Newsom. I think we should be approving these travel trips, because you look at the reasons, the members wishing to travel. I don't have a problem. You're not going to see me going on many trips. But the dates of the travel, the nature of the travel, including how it pertains to the port, we don't get really a lot of that information. So we should be the ones approving the travel for the commissioners to go. And that's all this is doing, is setting up a policy. It's not saying who goes, who don't go. It's just when there's something coming up, it should come before us to get approval to fund that. Other than that, like Mr. Schultz said, make a travel budget for everybody, and once it's done, it's done.
Mr. Kognovich.
Washington trip, Mr. Tillerson sent out an email asking who wanted to go.
I didn't know it was a rescheduled trip originally.
And the two of us, I know I did, and Patty put in that we wanted to go, but.
Yeah. I thought it was a new trip.
Well, me doing with my side thing with Vida setting up a meeting for the park system. Him and Charles talked about with the shutdown in the government, let's push it back, and I agreed.
I'm okay now that I know all about that, but at first I thought it was a new trip. I'm like, what are y'all even talking about? That's why I was like, hold on.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, this thing was very fluid. Once we determined that the government shutdown was real, we anticipated it'll probably be 30 days. And if that's the case, it is going to affect it. So that's why we decided, and that all happened this week.
No, I was kind of thrown off guard when I got an email, but then I found out the details. So, Ms. McCarty.
So I see a problem with it because it says, number 5, the requirements of the policy shall not apply to travel by the chair and the vice chair.
No, he didn't offer changes. Without the changes. That's not even in there anymore.
Okay, so I only have one copy here. So it was.
That was a change and it was offered without the changes.
I see. So my concern is that if we band together and decide that one particular person will never travel, that can happen because we're coming to a vote and we may decide that this person should not be moved forward. And I give the example of we had an unwritten policy that the vice chair moved up to be the chair of the port, but that was not followed this time. And so
It wasn't followed before in what, 2020? It wasn't followed. I mean, yeah, Doc was supposed to be chair in 2020 and he wasn't. Trudy too. It's not, that's not an unwritten policy.
okay, well, you got to make sure that the people who are qualified to go should be going, not necessarily the position.
Ms. McCarty, now you're saying some of us are not qualified.
No, I didn't
Yes,
say
yes, you
anything.
did.
No.
I call the question.
Because there
I
are
call the question. Floor, roll call, please.
What are we voting?
On the policy. Without the changes.
District 1? District 2? District 3?
Oh, yes.
District 4?
No.
District 5?
No.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
No.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Really?
It passes 6-3.
No. 5-4.
That was wrong.
5-4. Reverend Edwards.
4 noes? We had
Reverend
B1,
Edward,
B4,
Dr. Gui,
B7.
LaFrance, and Ms. McCarty.
Got it.
4. So let's be clear. It passed 5-4 with yes votes from 2, 3, 6, 8, and 9. No votes from 1, 4, 5, and 7.
Thank you.
Everybody agrees with that vote? All right, next item, please.
A resolution adopting the procurement policy for Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District to be added to the port's approved accounting and finance policies and procedures and otherwise to provide with respect to Commissioner Schultz.
I offer, ask for a second.
We have a fill in the blank.
Please fill in the blank.
It's resolution number 25-132. On May, well, I don't know. We don't have the right date. So I don't know what day it is, but it's been adopted, 25-150,
Is that a
132.
clerical thing that y'all can?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. I offer, ask for a second. Second by Ms. Commissioner Cognovich. Any comments from the audience? Administration, table, machine, or roll call?
District 1?
No, we're on, well, it is a policy, procurement
Policy.
policy. E,
District 2? District 3?
yes.
District 4? District 5? District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Passes 9-0. Next item, please. Ms.
8,
Cognovich.
approval of the minutes from the September 25th, 2025 regular meeting.
Offered by Mr. Jurisic. Second by Mr. Cognovich. Any comments, roll call.
District 1? District 1? District 2? District 3?
Yes.
District 4? District 5? District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8? District 9? Minutes pass.
9-0. Motion by Mr. Congress, second by Mr. Newsom. Roll call.
District 1? No. District 2?
District
District 2?
2. District 2.
District 2?
Mr. Champagne.
District 2?
3, yes.
We didn't hear it. District 4? District 5?
Patty.
District 5? District 6? District 7? District 8? District 9?
Passes 8-1. We have adjournment at 6:44 PM.